after seeing so many movies, seeing the way the weather is going these days, in my opinion, you'd have to be a fool, because you could just tell things are changing. And what you guys did, obviously things are changing. Does it make you guys feel well knowing that you have done something that no one's done before?
Yeah, we're proud of what we've accomplished here. And what we want people to do is to observe the evidence. You know, if we've done anything, we've basically brought back evidence from these faraway places that makes the climate change story real and dimensional. You can see it, you can feel it in your bones, just as we felt it when we're out in the field. So we're humbled by the fact that we've been the witnesses to these things, but we're proud of the fact that we kind of had the stamina to get all the way through this and be able to bring this story back.
You know, it's interesting. I think I saw it maybe 3 weeks ago, and I know I've seen at least 17 movies in that. I keep thinking of this movie, of the challenge of putting those cameras in different countries. Just the thought of that. Every day I'm thinking about that for some weird reason, because it wasn't easy to do. But scientific-wise, it was a great experiment.
Well, think of it as we sit here. You know, just 5 minutes ago, we had 34 cameras all around the world clicking, observing that moment in all those places, by Mount Everest, in Iceland, in Greenland, in Montana, in Canada, in Alaska. They all went off, and they were recording a moment in history and time in those places. It's kind of mind-boggling. And it's always always haunts me the same way it does you, that there are all these little robots out there, or little surrogates, or little R2-D2s that are watching the world, preserving a memory of what's happening.
What was most challenging for you when it comes to Chasing Ice?
For me, the toughest part was the editing process, because this was my first feature film. We had 400 hours of footage. The time-lapse record, we had over 1 million photographs. So all of that had to get boiled down to, these are the time lapses that we wanted to use. These are the time lapses that were the strongest, that were showing the part of the story. And how are we going to convey that in the film? The editing process took 2.5 years to really bring the story to fruition.
Wow. You know, I have to always mention the song, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
How important is it to have that in there? Because it worked at the end for me.
Yeah. We had spent a lot of time on the team, between the producers, the editor, the composer, and myself, talking about the emotional transition from the end of the movie and how we sustain that during the end credits. And I think a lot of people, they seem to be shocked when they see the images. We're somewhat, you know, used to them now, so we have a very strong sense of what the images look like. But the first observer is somewhat shell-shocked sometimes from the calving event and from seeing those time lapses. And we wanted to transition them emotionally. And that song was a perfect tone and balance. And the lyrics are really, really powerful that convey the nice, like, wrapping up of the whole film.
How reassuring is it when you win Best Audience Awards for this? What does that do for your psyches?
It's gratifying to know that the audiences are engaging with the film, for sure. And sure, the film is the cinematic product we're proud of, but what we're even more concerned about is that they're engaging with this big epic story of this moment in history, and that's clearly what's going on.
What do you hope the audience gets out of seeing this movie?
We weren't planning on this being a film that was designed to shift opinions. We really wanted it to be James's story and a way to present the evidence and the imagery. But having done so many screenings now, we've seen the response to the film, and people are telling us that, you know, they were a skeptic about the issue and they get it now. We've had audiences of students that told us, you know, yes, this film changed my opinion about the issue. So seeing the response, seeing the resonance and the impact it's had on people, it just gives us more and more hope that we want to get it out there wider, and hopefully this can make a difference in how America perceives climate change.
When it comes to funding for your feature films, does this make it easier in a way after showing this movie?
For films, or for the Extreme Ice Survey, or for
your next film, whatever that may be?
Well, I would hope, it's kind of too early to say. I would hope that it makes the funding easier, but it honestly, people keep asking what my next project is, what I'm working on next, and I've got a lot of thoughts as to what I want to do, but we really believe, our whole team wants to support Chasing Ice as much as possible, as long as possible. We recognize that this is the biggest story that has ever faced humanity, and if we can use Chasing Ice to make an impact in that arena and have resonance with the society, that's the most important thing we could do right now.
Same way?
Well, for me, you know, the Extreme Ice Survey will go on more or less indefinitely. We will keep recording the evolution of these landscapes. But at the same time, I'd like to be branching off into new subject areas. I've got a whole brain full of ideas of new things I'd like to be doing. And fingers crossed, I hope that the experience of this film and the success of this film will make the funding process easier than it was for the Extreme Ice Survey.
We did this as independent artists. We had no connections to the Hollywood world of financing. We had no connections to real big philanthropists that would give money to this. And it was friends and family, for the most part, that supported both EIS and Chasing Ice. And that's how it all got started. So more than anything, we've just learned how to fundraise a little bit better as part of that experience.
I have a section called Matters That Matter on the website, and it's basically if you have a specific charity that you like, what might that be and why?
Mm-hmm. The Extreme Ice Survey and the Earth Vision Trust is what I would send people to. Do you want to?
Yeah. Basically, we've. Okay, let me start here. That's a good question that we haven't had.
No.
That's a new one.
I tend to do that.
Yeah. Over the course of this project and seeing the success of the Extreme Ice Survey, James has just founded the Earth Vision Trust, which is a nonprofit that's dedicated to continue to take visual imagery of the changing planet. So that's really where we're trying to put all the support into the Earth Vision Trust so that people can really help James do more work like this.
Yeah, our slogan is a visual voice for our changing planet. And believe it or not, the other media organizations that are in the earth science and biological sciences space, where they have a somewhat different objective than we do. We are trying to do really innovative, artistically challenging new treatments of these big subjects and get in depth, and go and do some sort of create some sort of visual epiphany. And so the Earth Vision Trust is really the parent organization that surrounds the Extreme Ice Survey now, and will surround a number of other projects going forward.